Sud Squad, Joanna here, the soap gal. One of the other questions that I've been receiving quite often is, what is false trace? So we're gonna dive right in and tell you what false trace is. False trace is when you use too much saturated fats in your formula. For an example, you have a high level amount of responsibly sourced palm oil or coconut or shea butter, hard oils versus your liquid oils like olive oil and avocado. Those are liquid oils. So when you have a high ratio of oils that are typically hard, and you put that in and they're melted and you leave it there, and then you put in all your additives and you put in that cool water, now those oils are solidifying, getting hard. So when you add in your lye that's at room temperature and you're stirring it, all of a sudden those oils are cooler, and so it looks like, oh wow, I have trace starting here. And especially when you're doing really decorative soaps, you want to make sure you're able to get that into the mold and do the swirls and stuff. So then you think, okay, I have saponification, but really what you did is you just cooled down all of those hard oils. So the way you can deal with that is stir a little bit longer, so then that way you know that you're stirring for at least 30 to 45 seconds, and then you know for sure with your motion blender that you have saponification happening. Or you use more liquid oils in your formula like olive oil, apricot kernel, safflower, sunflower. It just goes on and on about all the liquid oils versus the harder oils like coconut, palm, babassu. There's a lot of other oils that are harder. So let's say you have a false trace and you don't realize it. So you make this beautiful soap and then you put the lid on it and you go to bed and you let it sit there for 24 hours, and you come back and you're like opening it up and you're like, what happened here? So what a false trace looks like is you have like a layer of oil at the bottom or at the top. Yeah, normally you have a layer of oil at the top of your thing. So it's like what's happening, and then the bottom is all solidified as soap, but it's a really soft soap bar. And that's basically what happened, is you got a false trace there. The only other time that I've seen that happen is when you have a fragrance that's working good and then all of a sudden it does not bond to the molecules, and then that creates a false trace too. But that doesn't happen very often. It's mostly because you thought that you had trace, but it was really all those hard oils getting cold too soon. But that's the easiest way for me to be able to explain to you what a false trace is. But really the easiest way to fix that is just to stir a little longer. I hope that answered your question, and thank you. And remember, lather, rinse, profit, repeat.